Hello, Kelly. Good.
Where did that bring?
2 weeks, yes, tomorrow. Yeah, no, it's the same.
Actually, some drugs will do it every time.
Yeah.
Had a good surgery.
Yeah.
Hi, how are you?
Use that water.
Oh, no problem.
How are you doing?
Good, good. How are you?
Good.
Hi, John.
Well, this week we got.
I will give him your number, but his girlfriend is there too. She only was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 13 hours. We'll get better.
It's getting quieter than this. You know, I had a supervisor meeting a couple weeks ago. They're all going through the same thing. Nobody's going to the meetings. I'd like to think everybody's doing a great job, but people just don't seem to care. Amazon, I just found out.
Deal with the treatment, what? We give them coverage.
They can't find anybody to do the work. I guess they don't, I don't know if they pay anybody. But, the one in Lewiston that does Jerry Duffy, he lives in, so it's right around the corner from his house.
I called him.
Supposedly, that's what I was told.
That's true, that is true.
Because, you know, there's things that are mentioned here, especially false things about these
I know, I mean, other than being covered on the web,
How you doing?
there's nothing.
But you know, the stuff on the web doesn't, they don't put the current things on.
No, I know. The only thing, like, you know, again, the problem is we got newsletters and everything. It's promoting and this would end of the season, all those houses in the south. And, I don't know, it's weird that I talked to, I think it'd be happening to every person. We can't have it. Unless there was something that happened, she where it was going on in his house, we had to know somehow let it get into these other connections or something.
They had a, like a little,
Rich.
little
Dylan,
input that they
saw you over in my neighborhood.
Submission of what happened at their meeting. So maybe there's something that.
Well, but, you know, if it continues the way it is, because we're having this now with low coverage.
Does that mean that
Really,
it's
meant for water to come into it,
to
drain the soil that's around it.
Well, there is.
But if the soil around it, the water is lower, it's gonna come into the pipe and go, all the other pipes are perforated, so, except for the one across the road. So, the water's gonna be in that stone until it gets to the lower crevice, so it's going all the way around the corner. and down.
Could it be the base?
Well, again, even if it was a crack pipe, it's perforated.
I don't think it was a base.
And now we can't get it. So I don't know if it's, even what we're doing to that.
That was your house.
There were ponds.
When the pond goes up, whatever it is, I get more water in my basement. If it's dry for 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, there's more water.
Goes away.
Yeah.
We did, couple lines of years, and massive rocks, maybe taken where it is so far out of the house, and took in a hose, cut the little short of the hose, and run it out to the pond, just try that for a little bit, and see if it's not.
Yeah, run it around the back of the house, get it out.
Pumping it,
It's
pumping it
probably
back.
recirculating.
Pumping it back in there all the time, it's just, and then, right back to where it's coming from.
Just cut it off with a hacksaw, connect it, run it up.
Yeah, and they have to stop.
Yeah, I would try that.
I run it out to the pond. Because it probably comes out the side of the house, right?
Yeah, it comes out the
Down
side of
in.
the house, drops down,
Right,
and puts
so you could just
connection.
really disconnect it and run it back, although I don't know how to figure it out.
Well, there, he does have a pool, but you'd probably have to send it.
It's downhill, he can run it out.
Yeah, once it points it down.
I would try that.
I would too. That's a great idea.
I think Matt suggested today.
That's good. Yeah, that's gonna be inexpensive, you can get a piece of plastic pipe.
Yeah.
And,
There's no easy like your weekend, so you
Paul's got a video of
we had to get started, guys, we do it after, so we got a public hearing.
Good, how are you?
just want to let you know, Roger.
We're 3 minutes past due. We're 3 minutes past. I'm talking in the hall.
Welcome to the December 5th, 2022 meeting. Our first up is the public hearing from Restore New York. Matt, if you would read the public hearing notice, please.
Notice of public hearing, Town of Wheatfield, please give notice that public hearing will be held at 2800 Church Road, Moretown, New York, 14120, on Monday, December 5th, 2022 at 6:50 p.m. regarding the Restore New York Community Initiative Municipal Grant Program, application to develop the former Bell Aerospace facility, now commonly known as Wheatfield Business Park, located at 2221 Niagara Falls Boulevard. Anyone interested may attend and be heard.
Andrew, if you want to give just a brief explanation, I mean, there's only a few folks here, just as to what your intentions are. Andrew is with the IDA.
Sure. I'll read right directly from the letter of intent that's going to be submitted to the state. Wheatfield Business Park was originally over 1 million square feet and 6 buildings built in phases between 1938 and 1970. The only non-obsolete building remaining is 320,000 leasable square feet. It sits on 64 acres adjacent to the Niagara Falls Airport and on Niagara Falls Boulevard with easy access to the I-190. The building has not had any significant repairs or upgrades since it was built and is in a state of disrepair to large parts of the building, though large parts of the building can be repaired and leased for light manufacturing or assembly. Phase 1 is currently underway and includes the reactivating an old hangar space of 122,000 square feet with demo, reconditioning, and upgrading. The space will be available for lease within 6 months. This application is for Phase 2, which includes 100,000 square feet of the building that sits along Niagara Falls Boulevard. Work will include demolition, new facade, access, and dock doors. Work is scheduled to begin in 9 months and will be completed within a 6-month period. The estimated project cost for Phase 2 is $11,236,290, and the Restore New York grant request is for $2 million.
Anyone have any comments or questions related to, yes?
Will the facade be a restoration of its original appearance, or are they going to attempt to modernize it?
To be truthfully honest, I did request some renderings, and I didn't get that, and I'm not sure. I think they're going through that period right now where they're trying to have the firm sort of show them what it's going to look like. I don't think it's been determined. But I think that they're definitely, I mean, from the conversations that I've had, they're definitely aware of the fact that when you remove that front building, that it exposes the large building to Niagara Falls Boulevard, and they want to be very mindful of making that facade look much more attractive, and I think the idea is to make the building look attractive. I mean, they're gonna be putting a significant investment in this, and we wanna lease the space. So I think, they're gonna be putting some dock doors in, and I think they wanna definitely make the building look more attractive. Exactly what that looks like, I truthfully can't tell you. Thank you.
Anyone else? Yes. Does this involve the removal of the facade, as in the skin of the building, to put on a new skin over the side that is coming out from the main hangar body, basically the main body of the building? Or is the demolition meaning basically the old office spaces up against the side of the main section of the factory? It's a huge building.
So, yeah, there's three phases. So, with the part that you're asking about, phase 2 and 3 would be some demolition of there's a smaller office building out in the front, and then there's a long, building along the street. Eventually, all that will be demolished, and then the building sort of like behind it, that's a better way to explain. Yeah, the main building. Will have a new facade, and there'll be some dock doors, because the way it stands right now, it's difficult to access the bulk of the space in the center of the building, because the doors are, like on the rear of the building on the side. So their thought is that if you add additional dock doors along the front, it can really utilize more square footage throughout the entire facility.
We're talking about the section of the factory closest to where the incubator structure is.
I just need to see it on the map.
The area closest to where the business incubator plaza
Yeah.
is, right closest to that,
That's the main, you're saying that's the main building,
Yeah.
yes.
where you get that glass thing on top, that, that part of the structure. All right, thank you.
Anyone else? Yes, sir.
I know this is a state grant, but are these funds being, federal funds that's being transferred down to the state? Where is the original funding?
The Restore New York funding comes, it's my understanding that it was coming out of the New York State budget. I mean, I know it comes out of the New York State budget, whether or not, the funding originated from the federal government, they allocated it to create the Restore New York grant, I can't truthfully tell you, but it comes out of the New York State budget.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Who's gonna be the project lead or project manager on this? And the funds coming to the town, and then we have to.
The funds will be coming to the town will be the applicant, and it's our intention that the County Center for Economic Development be the lead in coordinating the entire grant and facilitating the grant and any sort of reporting that's on the back end.
So any authorization for distribution or payments will all come from the IDA?
It's going to have to come to the town, but the county would like to act as the facilitator on the town's behalf. And just so you're aware, the reason we did it this way is because you can only have a certain amount of Restore New York applications, and the county has other applications, so it's in order to maximize the amount of Restore New York funding that comes into Niagara County, we split it up this way. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to submit this many applications.
As long as the council sees it.
Really not going to less financially. I think anything, we're going to be the sponsor of this, and the county would be happy to basically influence management of the project. I think that's pretty much what we're doing. Anybody else?
When they come up with the final concept for the demolished sections and the restored sections, is there gonna be something that's going to be available to the citizens of Wheatfield to see what this iconic building is going to be looking like?
I would imagine that all that is determined through the town building department, right? We'd have to go through the town planning board during that process. So I think that would be when there would be an opportunity for the citizens of Wheatfield to provide their input.
Thank you. Motion to close the public hearing? All vote. Nate, stand a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And we are, public hearing is closed, and others, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Andrea, can I get a copy of what you read, though? If you can email it to me, or?
Oh, yeah, I can hand it to you.
Okay.
input tonight. Approval of the minutes of November 14th, 2022. So moved. Second. Motion is second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Approval of bill payment of December 5th, 2022, voucher number 2022-1924 to 2022-2037 for a total amount of $586,601.97. So moved. Motion. Second. And a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. 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 Those are paid. Thank you. Highway property. Policy.
Not much to report. I think we're pretty much done picking up leaves. We might make one last jog around town, but don't see too much out there. They actually went around with chipper again. This will be the last time till after the snow flies, so anything gets put out after this, it's gonna sit there. Which stuff out there now should be sitting there for the rest of the year, actually. People had plenty of warning and nobody listened. We did have our first snow event. I unfortunately was on vacation, or fortunately, I don't know which way you wanna look at it, but, everything went pretty smooth. All of our equipment held up good. It's all a lot newer now, so we're not having breakdowns and stuff. That's about it for me. Unless you guys got any questions.
Anybody with the phone? Thank you. Rich Down, audio problem.
The only thing I got is, we were over with Power Construction this morning, just helped them along with disconnecting the water and sewer from the old Country Cafe building, and as you can see by this afternoon, it's in a pile over there, so things are moving along with the Boulevard project. I don't think you're gonna see a whole bunch more happen this fall. I've got a meeting with DOT next Tuesday, so we'll see what they got to say.
Everybody was under the understanding, I guess, that they were gonna do some utility poles.
Yeah, that's gonna be the main gist through the winter, if they can get to it. Grid and Verizon both, when they can, weather cooperates, they're gonna try and move poles back, so that's the first step.
It's a start. I saw the Country Cafe going out today, it's a long time I haven't talked. Thank you. Mike Rinaldi is off sick. Mike Black is on also. And let's go with our assessment.
Hi. I don't have much of a report, just letting everybody know that the renewal for the agricultural exemption, the ages, which is the seniors with limited income, and the disability with limited income, are all gone out. They need to be back in my office by March 1st. So if you know anybody in those categories, please remind them. They're sent out on colored papers, green and yellow things. Okay?
Just on agricultural, just, if you could just let me know, I'll try to, a couple years ago, I chased some people down.
Yes, you did. You were very helpful. I
But,
appreciate that.
just give me a, I can try to help them out again.
Okay.
On the ag end.
Okay. Anything else?
Not sure if somebody throws anybody, but we got it.
Thank you.
Constables, any reports on? No report? Jim Zuber.
We have nothing for you this year. Sorry? We have nothing for you this year.
Motion, Matt Brooks.
Okay, first motion, from the town board, resolve to renew the consulting services agreement with Link Technologies for computer and IT services to the town for a minimum of 36 months at a fixed rate for base services of $2,750 per month effective January 1st, 2023. Be it further resolved, the town supervisor is authorized to execute the consulting service agreement renewal on behalf of the town upon final review and approval of the contract by the town attorney.
I'll make that motion, I'll second.
Motion is second, all in favor, signify by
I
saying
have a question though, just so everyone knows, it's $33,000 for the year. Link manages our network. They have our help desk, so any users, we got like almost 40 users tied into computers and emails and different accounts in all the departments. And whenever there's a question, they manage our help desk, so if you need need help setting up security or, printers, or, they forget their password, or they need a new email account, Links handles all of that. It usually is Monday through Friday daytime support, so we're not paying for extended hours. We're usually only here Monday through Friday anyway. But, it was a modest increase of, I think, just a little less than $200, but they did increase the number of users, by a couple, to accommodate us, but, basically almost the same price that we've been paying for the last 3 years.
I think we had a motion in a second.
Yes.
All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion from our budget director, resolved to approve an amendment to the 2022 general fund budget to provide estimated revenues and budget appropriation for the purchase of the backup generator at the Counts Community Center that is partially being funded by a state grant as follows in the motion package.
Have a motion, please.
So moved. Second.
And a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion from the budget director and water sewer department, resolved to authorize an increase in the town of Wheatfield water rate to 20 cents per 1,000 gallons of usage, and an increase in the town of Wheatfield sewer rate of 5 cents per 1,000 gallons of usage, due to an increase of 10 cents in the cost of water from the African County Water District, and an increase in other costs. Said increase will bring the water rates for usage from $2.35 per 1,000 gallons to $2.55 per 1,000 gallons, and will bring the sewer rates for usage up from $1.15 to $1.20 per 1,000 gallons. Said increases will result in a minimum water sewer bill being $26.25. The increase will be effective for water sewer bills beginning January 1st, 2023.
Before you go to the motion, just a brief explanation. I think everybody knows this, but the cost for Niagara County has gone up considerably, basically because of the cost of chemicals, chlorine, and even with the contracts that the county had, we had to negate those contracts because of the cost of chemicals. So all we're doing is passing the county's cost down, they pass it down to us, and we're passing it on to us, just to cover our costs. So, that's it. The motion.
So moved.
Second. And a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion from our budget director, be it resolved that town board does hereby approve the following 2022 budget transfers for the general fund, highway fund, and sewer fund, and that's as in the motion package.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And the motion from the town board, be it resolved to issue a request for proposals for window replacement at the Wheatfield Town Hall based on the specification on file with the building department, with said proposals due by December 19th, 2022, at 1 p.m. at the office of the town clerk, Wheatfield Town Hall, 800 Church Road, Northtown, London, New York, 14120, which we opened on December 19th, 2022, 7 p.m. before the town board meeting at the Wheatfield Town Hall, 2800 Church Road, Northtown, London, New York, 14120.
We were asking before, where is this being advertised? On our website?
It's advertised in it'll be advertised in the Tribune. And
Yes,
it'll
we did
also
that.
be advertised on our website. And your person will also be
We changed the time of the, bids we received to 4 o'clock, that what we put in the, publisher that they had.
I'll make a second.
I'll take care of it. Thank you.
Andy, have any questions? No. Larry, how?
I have nothing.
Bill's not here, George?
We're still waiting on National Grid to bring electric to the corner of National Agricultural Boulevard. It's going on 6 weeks now, so we're getting very anxious. I keep on giving them a push, but, if anybody can think of it, that'd be great, yeah. Anything, any help we can get, I think we'll take it. Decorating, the enhancement volunteers always do a fair amount of decorating around the holidays, so, we'll start to see some Christmas tree pallets, we got some new ones going up, our carolers, wooden structures, Juliano's gonna be putting those out, fairly soon here. We also have our Happy Holiday signs in the town of Wheatfield and enhancement volunteers. We got a new location at the corner of Williams and Niagara Falls Boulevard, which I think is really nice. It's right at the entry from Wheatfield. It's a really good spot. Tom and I put that out just yesterday. And finally, I just wanted to mention, I'm not sure who does the decorating around this building, but it looks really nice out there. So whoever did that.
Greg Martin, was the girl to the inside, and Greg and the recreation department, they also. Randy?
I'll just say the trees at National Boulevard are up and at the highway garage. I was there yesterday.
Oh, yeah, I heard you were helping out.
Those two are,
Just as a note, this past weekend I attended the White Whiskers gala event over at Socorro Post. It was well attended, and the White Whiskers folks may be aware that they now have a special permit in the town of Akron, and they were welcomed with open arms, and they got a special permit. They bought an old BMW facility they're converting it for the senior dogs, because I'm a senior dog. And I was really, was amazed to watch all these little senior dogs hobbling around the floor, and people just love their dog, and I know I do. So it's a great thing. I hope that it will work out for Wheatfield, but it's still in Niagara County, so I'm happy for that. And that's all I have. Any other public input? Anybody have any comments? Next meeting is December 19th, 7 o'clock, and I'd like to put a motion for an executive session with our highway superintendent for personnel issue. It should be very brief. Can I make the motion for the executive session?
second.
And a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you for coming. We'll stick around till the end of the meeting. We're just, it should be a very brief executive session.
I want to thank you for a nice job that you're putting up around the wall. After the snowfall.
Oh,
I know it's a more delicate thing to do than
You mean the wall out here?
No, our wall.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Oh, you did, thank you. I was gonna say, you want to...
You got there, that break was
Tomorrow I'm supposed to.
Okay. All right.
So I gotta, oh yeah, right away. I was up and walking. I know it's amazing. So this is my friend for the next 4 weeks.
Okay.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
That's right.
Well, and he doesn't want to go to the planning
Lost
board.
the whole year over
Right.
there.
So
Yeah, I was looking for your lawn chair today. I was looking for your lawn chair out there this morning, but I didn't see the lawn chair.
The old guys don't want to.
I see it. I see it around somewhere along, right?
Keep in touch with the old guys.
I had Lily and stuff.
Even though they're retired, they still want to.
Okay.
I was talking to a guy about how, like that ambulance truck going home, so with camper, and stuff, but I couldn't get anybody else to work. He says, I think the guy owns the company, Bubble Iron. He says, when I'm gonna get somebody to work, it's like a negotiation. He said, it's not coming to work, it's like a negotiation. That's funny.
I heard.
Communication.
Okay. Maybe I don't, I'll reach out to you.
Okay. Yeah.
And, we did some work that we had some like that was more annual. So that, well, it will reduce the cost of what they are gonna pay. Yeah. They, came out and did the wall and re-sided.
You know what?
I started talking, but I was like,
The
I
day you
gotta
called
look
me,
at both.
you guys told me balls that wasn't there, so I said, well, wait, think it's just like. Yeah, there's only 3 places with snow.
And I didn't mean to call you, right?
Oh,
Of course, that first show, right?
Good.
So, we're still working.
Doing good. I am doing good. That's great.
The shelter that was coming got delayed because of the snowstorm. Got stuck in Ohio, because Pennsylvania shut down 90 down. The day before New York, the big truck. So the shelter was supposed to be delivered that Thursday, gets caught in Ohio. So anyways, this is good.
Well, if anybody has a fuck up, yes, all they gotta do is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I hate that. So, you know, lots, there was.
Oh, I tell ya.
I would've had time.
I'm a lot better
I was in the middle of something, I saw it, or I would've had it a little lower and just pushed it out of the way. But anyways, I called Jeff Gaston, because I was building the ground.
Oh, yeah.
Just push the pile to the side so they don't have any problem getting in. Well,
Next year.
within a month or two. So shelter's there, electrical's in the ground, they got to complete the electrical. They put the antennas, it's really just a project, so the money that paid the house bill was money to put interop equipment. So those national interops with the U-tax, there's just some of those in the radios. So it's gonna be a repeater for those channels. That's the money, we have money to put the trunking. Well, we got the money to get the trunking, so actually that equipment's coming in right behind it, so because of the delays in building, if the site would've been ready 4 months ago like it should have been, it would've just been interop equipment, but the way things are rolling, there's a good chance the trunking's gonna be right on its tail end. And they're putting, and there's not much talk about it, Jonathan is a paging project, so he's actually putting brand new paging transmitters in every single site. And that stuff's coming in too, so it looks like all that stuff's gonna roll together, so. But when they plow the driveway, they come in straight back.
I always used to push that. Yeah.
So I said, just have
Gotta get
them
used
go
to
to the
new
right
stuff
a little
now.
bit, yeah. And not, once it's done, likely they'll, numbers we have a problem. They'll go to the sites over the winter.
Well, we just have to know how to keep it clear.
Yeah. So.
What's going on with you, Mr. Leader Star?
Finally went out hunting.
Did you?
Weekend, yeah.
Shooting? No?
You didn't make it down in Southern Tier for opening weekend, or?
Couldn't, I didn't. Snowball. First time in 40 years I didn't make opening day.
Wow.
And the guys that went, they had a hell of a time trying to get there.
We left Thursday, went down, we didn't have no problems at all.
You got down before the
We
storm.
got down before the snow. We only had 6-8 inches
Oh,
opening day. It
You
was
down
good.
below it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, we were down
same
below.
thing.
But then Sunday morning, we got up with about a 40-mile-an-hour wind, and you couldn't see the back edge of my lawn, and it's only like maybe 50 yards back, you couldn't see, it's like, well, I guess we're not hunting this morning. But we left at about 1 o'clock, between noon and 1 on Sunday, and it was up to my knees when we left. It's, well, yeah, that's enough, it's time to go.
Yeah.
My
We had
brother,
lots
he
of deer
was
anyways.
truck in the ditch.
Oh, Friday was bad.
He put it down there, he said, I don't know how I got out. He goes, how I got out and how I didn't hit a pole, driveway marker or something, but he was able to get himself out.
Yeah, some shit.
Boy.
What is it with opening weekend? It seems like getting to be more and more that one weekend in November is always a shit show.
Climate change.
Yeah.
That's the answer, Scott.
And then after that, it's not.
Then it tricked, yeah.
After that, it's nothing.
Yep. I know, I was down this weekend and we won.
Timmy
We
Devontier calls me
didn't have
today.
a win like you guys did.
Timmy Devonshire called me today. Hey,
Yeah, everything else.
2 doors behind your fire hall, an open lot that they cleared.
Joyce.
He's got a picture of us standing there eating a pumpkin.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing stood up and took a picture, and it's got a rack about this wide and about this high. I said, well, I ain't seen one like that yet.
Oh, yeah, he's been hanging around all fall.
He's been over behind me.
No, he's been hanging over
He come through the one,
across the street from you.
not this chowder sale, the chowder sale before. He come across the back at about maybe 5 o'clock.
Oh,
You could
did he?
see him in the lights
Yeah.
of the parking lot.
Yeah, he's a beauty.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Someone will hit him.
I said, I haven't even gone back out hunting yet. Me and the kid both took bucks behind the house with crossbows.
Oh, okay.
And then, he got 10 point down at camp opening weekend.
Oh, nice. Good for him.
I haven't even run my freezer, I can't go find them.
Yeah, I seen a bunch of doe on Saturday.
We got all kinds of permits, but it's like, nobody really needs it
Yeah.
here, let me know.
What are you gonna do with it? Yeah.
I don't want another one, I got no room.
I'm only hunting ones anyways. What am I gonna do with a little buck? Let it go. I'm not gonna mount it. I got nowhere to put it in the house.
I told the kids, is down there, once my freezer's got some meat in it, I don't care,
Yeah.
I'm happy,
Yep.
I'll look for the big rack.
Wait for the big one.
If I'd have seen him, if I'd have seen the one the kid got, I probably would've had to shoot it.
Did you see the one that was taken?
Nice deer.
Oh, yeah, real nice.
It's the biggest one we've seen in our hell, like forever.
Did you see the one at Cambridge?
There's been some big deer taken around.
16.
Yes, all right, massive racks.
16. And, right by Dave Arntz's house. Oh, Dave Arntz got a big one.
They cut down his house. or
No,
that's Jimmy?
Letchworth, no, he's done it, Jim Kelly.
Holy shit.
Lower Mountain Road and Bud.
Okay.
Can you imagine that coming through the woods? I think I'd have a heart attack.
That's what my cousins shoot down in Ohio. They get them like that every year down in Ohio. Just outside of Columbus, it's nothing but soybeans and corn, man.
That's where Russell, he went to,
Howdy.
he went to Missouri. Got a monster. But I can't go 2 miles back in public land. He had to backpack it out.
I couldn't have faced any of it.
They go up, they camp out there.
This is on the borderline last year.
That's for the young guys.
Go to the cabin.
Oh, yeah.
Out,
Yeah.
walk out, go hunt a
Even
little
Larry
bit.
made it this year, and I didn't, I couldn't go.
If I get cold, I'll walk in.
They said it was cold.
9:30, I walked in, opening morning, I was cold, I said, well, I'm gonna go back and have a coffee, and on my way in, sure as shit, about 100 yards behind the cabin, there's a deer standing there, so I'm standing there looking for about a meter to where the guy sit up there. And he finally looked up, and I see he had a rack on him, so I said, well, you're lucky here this year, I got him in the freezer.
Well, let's go see what these guys got.
Yeah, the lady over there wasn't overly thrilled with us before we left, so.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna get a lawyer, somebody's gonna have to pay for this,
This is what you get for trying to help.
Well, yeah, I said, you know what, guys, let's just back it up and get the fuck out of here. We're not being appreciated, so, I mean, we were fine. Her husband come home, so then she had to put on a show for him, and blah, 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 blah. You know, you see what it says? It says sewer on the side of this trailer. We're used to dealing with poop. We don't do drainage, we do poop. We try to keep the water out of our pipes.
You really can't tell anything other than there's nothing clogging the pipe.
Well, you gotta clean them leaves out from at the bottom of the we can tell where the water's going, it's not a big deal. And that cyclonic unit's about 14, 15. Yeah. We took a measure tape, stuck it down in the middle of it.
They usually are deep because they need a big.
I mean, it's huge.
It would be some, like, you got your in and out pipe, but that's the whole thing, is your stuff below it, where all
So the tape measure went down 14 foot, so I don't think it's plugged or anything in it. How's that? That one doesn't
There's
need to
shit
be sucked
floating in
out.
it though, right?
A little bit of shit floating in it,
The bigger thing
nothing
with
much.
these is like, that's why they're kind of easy to maintain, because really it's sucking off the stuff floating at the top and then really dropping it down there and going around the bottom.
Can't do that unless it's empty.
Mm.
You can't suck underwater.
Doesn't suck water out of it?
It'll suck water out of it, but if it's full, we're gonna suck it dry first before we get to the shit in the bottom.
So,
That's
yeah.
how it jets
So we
made
have-
to suck.
So you,
So you gotta plug it off, you're gonna have to suck all the water completely out of it, and then,
right, yeah. What's wrong?
I only got a 500 gallon tank on my dude.
You think
500 or 1,000, it's not a very big holding tank on there to
a
suck dry.
manhole that has that much water?
It's,
What do you do with them? What do you do with that stuff?
if it's sewage, we gotta take it to the sewer plant.
But
They
if
got
it's
a
just
dump
water,
station over there. If it's just water and shit, we can dump that pretty much anywhere.
grass.
As long as somebody doesn't see us dumping it, think we're dumping sewer out somewhere, you know.
A lot of it is just like, the stuff it's supposed to take out is like dirt, sediment.
Top clear water running into that thing. From what we see, could see, the camera got into water, so then we had to take it out and extend the tracks on it so it rides up in the pipe. We hadn't done that in a long time, that took us a little while to figure that out. There must be a little belly in one spot, because when it dipped, the camera lens went underwater, and then we couldn't see much, so. Did you come up with a video?
Actually, I tried sending it to him, but
No,
did you look at your phone?
probably too big.
It was too much shit for it. There's a lot of nothing for a while. That's where the, one catch basin is, and going this way is that hydrodynamic unit. Yep.
Here's the guy's right roof drain connection.
If you were standing in the road looking at his house, that's his left.
And then that's the next house, right?
Yep.
Well, at least it looks like those guys put it in well.
Here, take this. I mean, I should, without shit right away. 4 minutes long, he'll move along quicker after.
In the one spot, it seemed like there was a
But
little.
like you can see that it's perforated. And if you look, the perforation's right at the water level. You can see that. He coupled it way when he moved the camera on.
He'll zoom, but he went over a couple walls where you can actually see the holes.
But I mean, that just confirms that they put it the way it's set on the plans.
Right.
Like, it still doesn't explain why all of a sudden you guys get water.
They
This
put
has
a
been here
pool in.
for, this has been here
They
for
put
how
a
many
pool
years?
in the backyard and disturbed.
So what did they do in this pool line that,
I don't
that messed up here?
I don't know. No, he said, well, they took the dozer over top of the manhole, he thinks the manhole's broken apart in the bottom. I don't think
They
so.
weren't, you know, some stuff is, especially when it's perforated, it's not watertight, right?
Mhm.
Like, crack. Even if you show me this pipe was separated, like, it's perforated.
It's perforated pipe, the water's still gonna go through it.
I mean,
There's
this is
no-
sanitary sewer and there was water coming in, that's one thing.
Yeah, it's a whole
But
different story.
It's all water, it's not.
Well, I said disconnect, you know, Matt, don't disconnect it and run it out.
He said, will you guys do that for me? I said, you're lucky we're here doing what we're doing. I mean, we're kind of,
The wife started flipping out.
yeah, that's when it's time to pack up.
Yeah, time to pack up, kid. Sorry. We done what we could.
Yeah, you know,
Like,
you know what it costs to have a camera like this by,
Mhm.
by a fucking plumbing authority or plumbing company?
She called today. I didn't, that's when I was over there messing around. Didn't have time to answer the phone. She didn't leave me a message, so.
Well, maybe, I'll tell you what, maybe, she sent an email at the end of the day. She copied me and,
Like here's the scene, but it's all tight.
yeah.
And it's perforated pipe, I mean, even if it ain't pipe.
I mean, it's supposed to be like this, water comes in and it drains away, so like, water,
This is just working out.
water in your.
Yeah, this is working the
well,
opposite,
your
straining
water in
out
your
into the
sub-
stone and finding his basement. Said, oh, it took about 2.5 hours to go from the pipe and get into his crack in his basement.
Oh, with the dye?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
So
what I
that's
just-
not as quick as I would,
But what he's saying though
So
is,
that's probably coming down in utility, getting in.
but he's saying they put the dye in down here and there was none down at that catch basin, never came through. I can't
Seep
believe,
it through.
yeah, but I can't believe none made it to the other, to the
Yeah.
other
Down
end.
here and you go,
I don't believe that, I can't believe that it never made it through.
again, that's when this fills up with these perforations and it gets out in the stone, it's following the stone
Yeah.
down and around the corner and going down and out to the lake.
Could be.
Don't know.
But it never did it before. That's why I'm saying, this
Mm.
pool has to
What
have
would happen if they put dye down, not that I want to take too much fucking dye out of the lake or not, but.
There is no water coming out. of
There's
the
no water
lake.
coming out the discharge.
Even though there's water. flowing
Right,
in?
but I guess what I'm saying.
You're
is-
thinking it might be going through
What
the
I'm
stone?
saying is, yeah, if it's coming down this stuff, like, so there's the stuff in front of the house, right, where your utilities are crossing, that are potentials, right, for it to go through. But then that also comes down and along the side of the house, right? So if it's somehow
Mhm.
getting into the stone and like,
Yep.
let me ask you this, if you're looking at the front of his house, do you know which side is his sump pump on?
It's on the right
It's
side,
on the right
opposite side of it.
But here's the other.
But, you know what I'm saying?
The
Like,
sewer.
if it's coming in this pipe and getting into his under drain over here, it could be flowing all the way around.
No, there's his,
This is how the sump pump's running, all the time. It kicks on a little harder when the sump pump kicks on. That's the water that's coming out of the sump pump at all times.
and what it says is when the lake across the street goes down, it doesn't rain for 4 or 5, 6 days, he doesn't get water. So it's definitely coming from the lake, going into that pipe and going through the pipe.
Well, and
The
all this has
perforation.
only happened since October.
Yeah.
Never had problems
That's
with
what
the
he
sump
said.
pumps before.
Yeah,
So it can't be the pond, because it's been there for 11, 12 years.
Yeah,
Like,
somehow,
something
it's
has
opened,
changed.
somehow it's
Something has
opened a portal from here into his basement. Something that shifted, whether when they dug that pond, pool out in the backyard, it shifted something
Did they-
around enough.
Did they put some power conduit, or did they put some other drain from his, like, why is his sump pump coming in here? Shouldn't that be like, is that coming in through, isn't that what they're supposed to hook those up to your roof drains?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what that is.
Well, I thought they were like,
No.
they were HDPE from further on down
No.
the picture, no?
Well, there is one HDPE down farther, you saw it in there when they first started, before he started pulling back, so.
That's it.
But all this stuff is running down and into the other catch basin, is it all draining out to the lake, or is it just?
It's not making the lake
It's
through
not
that
making it to
pipe.
the lake. I went up to the
So none of
district-
this is making it to that other catch basin at the other?
Yeah,
That we started?
oh yeah, it
It's
goes
making
through
it
the
to
catch basin and it heads down towards the hydro unit, and then we lose it.
Disappears.
Okay, so now it makes me even more suspicious that, where's that water, if it's not going from there, to, like, here's another mystery, right? So
Mhm.
now.
I walked out to the lake and it's dry. I mean,
The outlet.
the outlet's dry, there isn't a trickle coming out.
So did they disturb enough in the backyard when they did the pool to,
Well, now don't forget, the pool's over on the other side of the yard, but they dug up all on that side for the heater, pump, and everything else on that side of the house where the pipe goes through. They dug up on that side of the house for the underground lines for the pool.
Where the hydrodynamic unit is?
Well, the hydrodynamic
That's
is
out
more in
front,
the front.
Right, but
Yeah.
where the line goes, the big storm line goes
Yeah.
down to the lake.
Yeah.
They dug in there, maybe,
I mean, there's only 20 foot of space between there, I'm sure they
Yeah,
had.
there ain't much room.
so.
These
so
lots aren't
right?
big to start with.
So,
Yeah.
so if in the middle of that, you got all these big storm pipes, right, but they were put in a trench, and then you've got your basement in your house and your drainage here, you go dig out that middle area, it's like
Right.
perforated pipe bedding stone, I bet it could possibly get over in from there.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only thing I thought of when I looked on that side
But
of
he
the
had
house.
green dye in his crock in the basement. There was no green dye over at the hydro unit. That's the part that.
But if it's traveling in the stone
Yeah,
along the pipe,
I'll
the
agree with you.
hydro unit, and then
Yeah.
somehow getting from there over to his foundation. unit.
Yeah.
It's almost like he needs to dig a freaking trench around his house and fill it up with clay and to cut off wall.
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping we'd see a big crack in the pipe, you know, or something, like a pipe shifted, there was a space like this.
But as soon as I saw that it's perforated pipe, I'm like, that's not
Mhm.
gonna make a difference.
Yeah.
And even that, you know, that HDPE storm pipe, that's not watertight anyway.
No.
Even if it's solid wall, that's not
Usually
watertight.
pull the rings out.
Probably wouldn't
Well,
leak
the gas
like
gets
silt,
out of there.
Goes better easier.
Mhm.
So now you say it's going down towards the unit, but not up the lake. Could
Right.
you see it going into the unit? Is it flowing into the hydrodynamic unit?
What?
Water.
We can't see that.
So you didn't go from the catch basin down towards the hydro unit?
You look down there.
We looked
You
down.
can see the water running from that catch basin going around the corner,
Going to the-
headed towards the hydro unit, but we didn't go down
You
to
could
the
see the
hydro
wall
unit.
in the hydro unit.
So you can see, because there's a wall just inside there, and you can't, you know, if you look, pull it
Right,
covered,
but you could see,
can't
but you
see
said you could see water flowing down.
Yeah.
So it was
down
flowing
the
towards
pipe
the
towards
hydro
it, oh yeah.
Yes.
It just wasn't coming out the other side.
And there wasn't I mean, I didn't see no real flow in the hydro unit itself. did
No.
We pulled the lid on it. Would we see it
Well,
flow?
you wouldn't, because, like, usually that stuff comes in, it's like, it's like, there's usually a baffle on the upside, and then it
That's
kinda goes down and then back up the other side,
That's what
so
we
you
thought.
wouldn't
That's
be
what we-
seeing the flow. Because it wants a baffle to separate out all the floating shit, so that doesn't go out in your water, but
Right.
then usually it kinda gives it a little circular motion, then it goes down and under, so that, you know, it's stuff that's suspended in the water will settle out.
Well,
there.
and there wasn't that much flow there either, I mean, like you said.
No, I mean, we're not talking like it was running hard, it was just,
Right.
you could see water, but.
But
You know, maybe
seeing
after
absolutely nothing coming out down by the
No,
lake is suspicious.
nothing,
Yeah.
So then what the hell's going on in between there?
zero.
Can you see signs of where they dug over there from when they put their pool in, or is it all
No.
nice and parky grass?
It's all first grass
historic?
now, yeah.
It's in a fence too.
They didn't put the fence on top of our stones.
No,
No, it's over,
yeah. And the-
even with the house
Right.
where the fence is. Mm-hmm.
Should never do this place over there.
Shouldn't have done it in the first place. I'm dead against all that shit.
So, what I think
Remember?
Kristen's email was about? Yeah, we've changed.
I don't care if
changed some
change
of
or not,
the
it's
code.
still ain't worth a shit.
But I think Kristen, which emailed, she had Bob Lannon on it and Tom Blodgett on there. She said they're looking at proposing the early stages of a development on Eric Road. I'm aware.
Yeah, you know where.
And she said they're talking about potentially doing a conservation, this conservation cluster thing.
No, tell them big bill, Bob.
But
God damn it, you can't afford to
but
buy a
here's the
lot, you
deal.
can't afford to build a house.
So, well, remember the point of those are they
Oh,
closer and
yeah.
closer, so you're
Oh,
saving
yeah.
the open spaces and land, right? But.
Which has nothing but mosquitoes and everything else in it, and then all people are bitching about mosquitoes around the house.
It's floodplains and it's wetland. Anyway, what it says in our code under those, it says that they have to say exactly what they're proposing, like townhomes or condominiums, et cetera. And then it says condominiums must have private roads and private utilities, in parentheses, water and sewer. All right? And I talked to Drew a little bit about that, and he said it's because when people, like when they declare that condominium status, like the whole, I guess the point with that is they do that because then they only have to pay like 40% of the normal taxes.
Yes.
But because they have to pay less, everybody was saying, then it's gonna have to be your own water and sanitary, right? So, I think she was sending that on to them saying, well, the town requires these things to be private, but the sewer guys doesn't allow any private sewers, right? It's like, what are we supposed to do? I replied back, I'm like, first of all, I think that only applies to condominiums, and I don't think you're gonna get one of those approved here anyway, so just don't do a condominium association. And it'll either be a public road with sewers.
He got away with that over a while then. All them houses are considered condominiums. They
Did he
have
get condominium status for
Yeah,
it?
condominium status over there.
See, that was back before they got private water over there, that runs through a hot box and shit, but now you can't do that.
So you can't do even what our code says, right?
I don't think so.
I didn't think you
Because
could
they're
either.
individually owned. Once they're if they're all owned by one person, if you're putting up a building, everything is owned by one person.
And they paid rent, that'd be different.
You can do private.
Right, like an apartment building,
Exactly.
multiple apartment buildings.
Exactly,
You've got
but
home
once-
service that comes through and
Once it's separately owned,
So, part of me wanted to say, look, the town doesn't want you any private, not that you want the extra maintenance stuff, but I don't think the town wants any private water and sewers anyway, so.
I don't want public
I don't
water
think they
back
want any
over there.
condominium
Back on
associations
Skylark,
either.
I don't want the public water back there. If anything ever happens, there's a fucking nightmare.
Everything's on one side, right? Is all the utilities on one side?
Sewers.
Water's on
Sewers on one side, water's on the other?
But the town just changed it, so the setbacks have to be the normal setbacks, so you don't have Skylark. Although, is that an issue for you over at like, the Forest Parkway?
Oh, that's another nightmare.
patio
Get in there, if
homes over
anything
there?
ever happens in there.
Yeah, there's no space.
Seeing
There's no room to
wildlife?
work anything, you can't do anything.
So any place where somebody got the bright idea to have a less than normal setback is a pain in the ass.
We had to get through there to get back to that creek, trying to get a tree out. The only thing we could fit between them houses was our mini ice. The big machine, no way. That's how close they are.
Nobody's doing anything about it.
Over at Forest Park?
Yeah.
Park. Nothing but a headache. These guys don't get it. Maintenance, shit. You got a problem there, it's nothing but a headache. For everybody. If I get a water leak back in any of them, it's gonna take out 2 or 3 driveways, probably flood 3 or 4 houses. Nobody understands that.
I'll make a motion to come out of executive session. Aye.
And we are out of executive session. Kathy, would you like to read our motion?
Pay cost include approximately 40 hours of accumulated vacation and comp time at a rate of pay he was receiving prior to becoming highway superintendent.
I'll make a motion.
Motion second, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carried. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Everyone hit the microphone.
Mm-hmm.
Howard?
I'll take it down for break today.
Ready?